Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're journeying into the sands of time to uncover a story that was meant to be forgotten. She was a queen no one was supposed to remember. Her name was chiseled from temple walls. Her statues were shattered and buried. Her tomb sealed not once but twice, the first time, by her own command. For centuries, she was a ghost in the annals of history. But when archaeologists finally broke through the silence, they found something extraordinary, something that defied everything they knew about ancient Egypt. A throne, carved into the stone, directly beneath her coffin. This is the incredible, haunting story of the queen who planned to rule from beyond her own grave. Our story begins in Egypt's legendary 18th dynasty, a time of immense power, wealth, and ambition. And few held more ambition than Queen Tusret, the final ruler of this celebrated lineage. After her husband, Pharaoh Seti II, passed away, Tusret didn't just step in as a temporary regent for a young heir. She seized the throne of Egypt for herself, not as a queen, but as pharaoh in her own right. She adopted the traditional symbols of male kingship, including the ceremonial false beard, took on masculine royal titles, and ruled with an iron will that rattled Egypt's powerful priests and military generals. Her reign was radical and controversial. As whispers of rebellion grew into a storm, her enemies didn't just want to end her rule. They wanted to obliterate her from history, to erase her very existence. Sensing that her grip on power was weakening, Tusret made a decision that was as audacious as it was unprecedented. She commanded that her tomb, her eternal resting place in the Valley of the Kings, be constructed with two distinct levels. One was for the dead, a traditional burial chamber for her sarcophagus, but the other was for the living. In a secret chamber directly beneath where her coffin would lie, she had a throne carved from the bedrock, complete with all the royal symbols of power. This was her hidden sanctuary, a place where, as later discovered hieroglyphs described, she could rule eternally, a seat where Ra descends and the queen endures. It was her ultimate act of defiance, a plan to outlast her enemies. But this very act would seal her fate, quite literally. As civil war engulfed the kingdom, her enemies marched on the capital, Thebes, and then silence. Tusret vanished from all historical records. There's no mention of her capture, no account of a royal burial ceremony. She simply disappeared. When archaeologists later entered her tomb, they found clear signs of a violent struggle. There were scorch marks blackening the walls, collapsed passages, and the scattered remnants of looted treasures. But deeper inside, untouched by the chaos, they found it. That second, hidden chamber. There stood the stone throne, still waiting beneath the shattered remains of her sarcophagus, a silent, powerful symbol of a ruler who refused to surrender her crown, even to death itself. For centuries, the tomb lay silent, its greatest secret buried deep within. Then, in the 20th century, modern excavations began to reveal its full, stunning story. Egyptologists were completely baffled. This was unlike any other royal burial. It was a unique fusion of a funerary temple and royal living quarters. Intricate carvings on the walls didn't just show Tusret serving the gods, as was typical for a queen. Instead, they depicted her sitting beside the mighty sun god, Ra, not as his servant, but as his equal. Her enemies had tried with all their might to erase her name from the pages of history, but in stone, her defiance had survived. The story of Queen Tusret is a haunting irony. In her desperate quest to secure eternal power, she literally built her throne room into her own tomb, and in the end, disappeared into it. She was swallowed by her own ambition and the sands of time. But centuries later, her voice rose again from the dust, whispering a powerful and timeless truth across the ages. You can bury a ruler's name. You can topple their statues. But you can never truly bury the will to rule. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey back in time. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next historical deep dive. See you next time.